Hello children, today I'll explain you the second part of chapter 4, The Happy Prince from your Moments supplementary reader book. When day broke, he flew down to the river and had a bath. Tonight, I'll go to Egypt, said the swallow, and he was in the prospect. He visited all the monuments and sat a long time on top of the church steeple. And now what happened? Next day, when he woke up, he went to the river, took a bath, and he said to himself that that night only he would go to Egypt. And now he was very happy. He was in high spirits, means he was very excited, very enthusiastic to go to Egypt to meet his friends. He visited all the tall buildings and monuments and sat on the church steeple looking at the whole town. So, he asked the prince if he had any task, any work at Egypt, because he had decided to go to Egypt at that time only. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you stay with me one night longer? And now once again the statue of the prince requested Swallow to stay one more night along with him. I am waited for in Egypt, answered the swallow, but Swallow said that my friends are waiting in Egypt for me. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, far away across the city, I see a young man in a garret. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers, and in the glass by his side there is a bunch of withered violets. His hair is brown and crisp, and his lips are red as a pomegranate, and he has large and dreamy eyes. Trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre, but he is too cold to write any more. There is no fire in the grate, and hunger has made him faint. And now the statue of the prince started telling Swallow about one more man who needed his help. So what kind of a man he was? He was a poor man who used to live in a garret. Garret means an attic, old place, and he was sitting near his table with number of papers on it, and there are withered violets, means some flowers which have now become old, and his hair is dry and colorless, and his lips are red. Although he has large dreamy eyes, but because he is poor, he did not have any money to buy firewood, because of which his room is very cold, and he is not able to write a play which he is writing for the director of a theatre. Because of no money, he has no fire in the grate, and he is hungry, because of which he has become faint and not able to write his drama anymore. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. Now, because Swallow was also a kind-hearted bird, he decided to stay one more night to help that man for the happy prince. He asked if he should take another ruby to the young playwright. Alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. My eyes are well that I have left. They are made of rare sapphires brought out of India 1,000 years ago. He ordered the swallow to pluck out one of them and take it to the playwright. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy firewood and finish his play, he said. And now when Swallow asked that, do you have another ruby which I can take and give it to the playwright? But he said, no, I don't have any other ruby. It was only one fitted in the sword hilt. But now I have two sapphires which are fitted in my eyes. They are very precious stone which were brought from India thousands years ago. They are quite precious gems. You can take them out. You can take one of it out and give it to the playwright. The playwright will sell it to the jeweler, and he will have money to buy firewood to complete his play. Dear prince, said the swallow, I cannot do that. And he began to weep. And now listening this, the swallow became very upset, and he started to cry and told the prince that he was not able to pluck out his eye. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. Because it was the statue of a prince, he commanded Swallow to pluck out the sapphire gem from one of his eyes. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the young man's garret. It was easy enough to get in, as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. And when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. So at that time, Swallow plucked out one eye of Prince, and he flew away to the young man's attic garret, and he get into his room through a hole in the roof. And he found that the man was having his hands buried in having his head buried in his hands, because of which he could not hear the sound of the birds fluttering. And he saw that those beautiful violets, beautiful flowers became very dull. "I am beginning to be appreciated," he cried. "This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play," and he looked quite happy. So the bird had put the sapphire on his table, and when the playwright looked at the sapphire, he became very happy. He cried with happiness, and he said that one of my great admirers has sent me this great precious gem. Now I can finish my play because I will have money. And he looked very happy. The next day the swallow flew down to the harbour. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailors working. "I'm going to Egypt," cried the swallow, but nobody minded. And when the moon rose, he flew back to the happy prince. And this time, next morning, when the swallow woke up, he was very happy, and he went to the harbour, and he was looking at the sailors working, and he sat on a large vessel and looked all around. He cried over there that "I am going to Egypt," but nobody paid attention towards him. So at night, when once again the moon was there in the sky, he went back to the happy prince. "I have come to bid you goodbye," he cried. "Swallow, swallow, little swallow," said the prince, "will you not stay with me one night longer?" "It is winter," answered the swallow, "and the snow will soon be here. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them." So now Swallow once again told the prince that he was going to go to Egypt that night, but once again the prince requested Swallow to stay one more night with him. But what excuse the swallow gave to the prince? He said that it was winter and it was quite cold over there, but in the Egypt the sun was warm and palm trees were there upon which he could sit, and the crocodiles are also lazily lying on the mud. Means that place was quite warm as compared to this place, because now at this place soon it will start to snow. "In the square below," said the happy prince, "there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter, and they are spoiled. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money, and she is crying." So now once again the happy prince starts telling him about some more needy person, and that person is a little girl. She is a match girl who sells matchboxes to earn some money to take the money home. And because all her matchboxes are fallen into the gutter and they are spoiled, now she will not be able to sell them and earn some money. She will not take any money home, and her father will beat her, because of which she is crying. "Shoes or stockings, and her little head is bare. Pluck out my other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her." And now the happy prince feels very sad for the girl, and he says that she has lost her matchboxes and she is not having any shoes or stockings to wear in such a cold night, and her head is also bare. So he tells the swallow to pluck out another eye, the sapphire of another eye, and give it to the girl so that she takes some money home and her father will not beat her. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow, but I cannot pluck out your eye, you would be quite blind then. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. But now the swallow was not ready to pluck out his another eye because then he would be quite blind. But the prince commands him to pluck out his eye. So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. So what happened that the swallow plucked out another gem of the prince's another eye and went down to the little girl, and he simply put upon the hands of the little girl the precious gem. What a lovely bit of glass, cried the girl, and she ran home laughing. So the girl became very happy to see such a beautiful precious stone, and she went home laughing. She was very happy. The swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. No, little swallow, said the poor prince, you must go away to Egypt. No, I will stay with you always, said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. All day, all the next day, he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in strange lands. So now, when the little swallow went back to the prince, he found that now the prince was completely blind. So he decided never to go from there and stay there with the prince always. The prince told him to go to Egypt, but he denied, and he decided that he would never go back to Egypt, but he would stay with the prince always. And he slept at the feet of the prince. And next day, when he woke up, he didn't go anywhere, but he sat on the shoulder of the prince and told him all the stories of that town.